to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, located next to the old Fort Ord Artillery Range in the hills overlooking California's Monterey Peninsula. It is a beautiful place, and it is a great racing facility. Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Creamer, joined by Derek Daly and Jan Vigas, and you can see the scenery around here absolutely spectacular, as is the racing that we are about to witness. It is time for the 8th round of the Speed World Challenge and the Speed GT Championship, coming at you from right here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Now, earlier in the year, the Audi team, they brought in a new young driver by the name of Joel Nelson. Well, they brought in another driver here. You see 3 cars are here today, and one of them belongs to Paul Edwards, a young driver who's been spending a lot of time racing in Europe. He's a former Formula Parma Audi champ, which is a very, very intense and close spec series raced in Europe. And last year he ran Formula 3 in the British Formula 3 Championship with Alan Docking Racing. And Derek, he makes his debut in this series at a great track with our Sega track man.
And it is a great track here at the American Le Mans weekend. This is one of America's great racing circuits. Phenomenal elevation changes almost everywhere. The danger zone's probably the Andretti hairpin because it's a severe braking zone. And then at the top of the hill, up at the corkscrew at turns 7 and 8. But to be fast, you got to be fast at 6 and 10.
It is a challenge. Let's take you right to our starting lineup here. Good field. Petey Cunningham gets his record 23rd career pole, and Johannes van Overbeek, fast all season, will join him. Row 2, Michael Galati, the points leader, and Randy Popst, who has been phenomenal even though he hasn't run a lot of the races, has won a number of them. Justin Marks, a good performance, and Paul Edwards, the youngster we talked about, the young rookie, first time for the Audi program. Phil McClure and Mike Culver, the Chevrolet and the Porsche, will fill out row 4. And we'll look at row 5. It's Jeff McMillan, his worst qualifying performance of the season, and the rookie John Young, who is always impressive. Then in row 6, Derek Bell in the Audi, and David Farmer still trying to recover from that win at Mossport. He slipped just a little bit. Row 7, Tim Weens and Bob Miller, both driving Porsches. And as we take a look at the 8th row, it's Greg Merrill in the Porsche, and always Mr. Excitement, Boris Said, in that AER Ford Mustang. But as always, there's some stories outside of our top group.
Oh yeah, look at our 2 marks here, Anderson and Kybort in the 928s. They're sharing everything this weekend, including used tires and sandwiches.
Let's head down to the front of the grid with Jan Vikas.
Well, it may have happened 7 times last year, but believe it or not, this is the very first time that Peter Cunningham has pulled off a pole, a Woody's Ice pole, in this World Challenge GT competition. And why did it take so long to get that speed and get another pole?
I don't know. There's a lot of fast cars in this championship, and we haven't been as up in the front as we'd like, but the NSX really likes this place, and the real-time crew's really done a job with this car, and we were able to scoot around here pretty quickly yesterday.
All right, he's very reserved. He's getting his thoughts together, but I know when he gets out on the racetrack, he's not going to be a reserve driver, nor is the guy who starts on the outside of row number 1, Johannes van Overbeek. And if you look on the windshield, he is carrying 140 pounds of additional reward weight because he's been doing so well. That extra weight here, is that tough on a track like Laguna?
Yeah, it's tough anywhere. It's more weight. We have to accelerate, slow down, and corner than everybody else, but it's a home track for me, and I'm anxious to finally get one in the books here.
Now, being a home track, is there advantages that come maybe only race time, places that you know you can make moves that others might not?
Well, PD's been around a long time, and he knows this place inside and out, so anybody but him maybe, but we're going to run as hard as we can, and hopefully that'll be better than him.
All right, just around the corner, we're going to have these guys doing their standing start. And boy, even if you're a circuit specialist, that turn number 2 is going to be a barn burner.
Well, you know that's true, Jan, and you wonder why he's carrying all of that success ballast. How about 4 seconds and 2/3? That's consistency of the highest order here in World Challenge.
My son Jerome and...
The Speed World Challenge is brought to you by Audi. In technology, performance, and design, our goal remains constant, never followed. And by Sega.
Welcome Speed to Laguna Seca, this lovely track over here in California. It's a lot of sand on it, makes it very slippery. Nonetheless, very interesting, very hard to drive on. Unfortunately, I had a really ridiculous qualifying yesterday. Car ran so well all week, and then suddenly yesterday I made some, not errors personally, sort of as it was with the driving, I just, with my mind, ended up back here at 11th, not very happy with it. Michael Galati up there in 3rd, Paul Edwards doing a great job up there, of course, in, I think, 7th position. Very, very good indeed. Should be a very interesting race, but my goodness, I've got to get a good start. I really have to get a good start. So leave me to concentrate, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks very much, Derek. And you've got the equipment to have the good start. By the way, he talked about Paul Edwards. It was 6th where Paul qualified, and it was no fluke, Derek. In practice at the end of the day Friday, in his first time in the car in official time sessions, he was 3rd quick. So he's right behind Randy Popst over there. So he's definitely going to be a player here. We're just watching for the signal from the back of the grid for the green flag, and we anticipate the lights coming on.
And don't take your eye off Galati. Right side of your screen, 2nd car back. P.D. Cunningham, unusual to see him on the pole. Many times last year, Flextronics on the left, not known for good starts. Just hang on to your Hollyoaks. Here we go.
Oh, Galati got it. Look at Edwards. Explodes. Actually steps almost off the racing surface. And here we go. The fan out starts and into Andretti hairpin. Up front, it is Galati leading. Cunningham 2nd. Edwards 3rd. Popes 4th. Van Overbeck slips way, way back. Oh, and there's contact. That's Derek Bell spinning. Tim Weeds looks like he's got into the back of him. On board with Derek, and he's off already, and somebody else.
Yikes.
Right across the
yeah, you can see with the left rear corner panel, or quarter panel, and Derek's Bell got a whack, and he said he put himself in trouble by qualifying so far back, and that's what happened. He got involved in that incident, but what a great jump at the start by Paul Edwards. Oh, and he's about to lose 3rd place at turn 5.
That was Randy Popes, and Popes just rocketed underneath him, and Van Overbeck trying to go with him. Van Overbeck now trying to get Popes as well, and he does. Van Overbeck up 2 spots.
Here comes Edwards. Edwards inside Popes, 3 wide, up the hill, big long drag to the corkscrew here.
Edwards, Popes, Van Overbeck. Here comes Justin Marks, got by Van Overbeck. And look at Edwards protect from Popes. Oh, contact! That's McClure and Van Overbeck. And Van Overbeck, he's got damage to the left front corner. Van Overbeck buried in the gravel. McClure continues.
Van Overbeck went from the front row of the grid to the gravel trap in less than half a second. Galati still leads here from P.D. Cunningham. Look at Edwards down the inside. Yikes! He changed line twice.
Well, I think initially he wanted to get by Popes, and then he saw Marks coming and tried to cover for that. Let's go back and take a look. Here's the first incident with Bell.
Oh, you see left of your screen, Tim Weems hit Derek Bell. He backs off onto the gravel trap, on board with Weems. There it is. Watch it right here. Watch here. Right. Boom. That's it. Boom. Oh, yeah. D-Bell drop kicked. On board now with Derek Bell. Somebody sideways in front of him. Oh, he gets the tap and backwards off onto the gravel.
Watch fly. Oh, okay. Now this is up at the top of the corkscrew. Watch for McClure.
Where is he? Oh, no. Always down the inside. Oh! Phil McClure missed his breaking point by a huge margin to smash into the side. Here it is on board with McClure. Oh, and he smashes inside.
Now we go on board with Jeff McNeil. Ooh! Boy, did he come by at a huge rate of speed. Now we're on board with Bell. You can see he's got some bodywork damage in the car. And Derek Daly, as you alluded to, that's what can happen when you have a tough qualifying session. Let's check in with Derek Bell. Derek?
Well, Speed, there you are. That's what it's like starting back in the middle of the pack. It wasn't totally the middle of the pack's fault, but there we go. So I'm trying very hard to make up time. You then saw the incident, Van Overbeek at the top of the hill. Then you saw the mayhem at the hairpin. Anyway, that's the way it is. I'll persevere, come back to you later.
Anyway, that's the way it is. Well, it is indeed racing here, and we are on board. There's a good look at Derek Bell at work.
And that was the scene of the crime at the top of the hill there at the corkscrew. And what was Phil McClure thinking of? I mean, he missed his breaking point by a country mile to plow into the side of Van Overbeck. That car that Van Overbeck drives is about a $200,000 racing car, and that is a fair bit of old damage. There he is there, buried in the gravel trap.
You can see the damage.
Yeah.
Now, as we have a full course caution as a result of this. This is clearly in an impact zone, and you have to think that as McClure was rocketing up in the corkscrew, the old phrase ran through his mind: "I got it, I got it, I got it, I don't got it."
Yeah, exactly. Paul Edwards is one of only a few young American drivers who have gone to Europe and tested themselves in several open-wheel formulae.
I didn't grow up around motor racing, so I kind of learned as I went over there, and it's tough. I mean, it's top-notch competition, and you have to eat, live, and sleep it over there, and that's all I pretty much had to do while I was there, is race and work with the teams and learn about what it takes to be a top driver.
After 6 years of racing in Europe, Edwards has jumped into the champion Audi for his first ever saloon car race.
It's completely different than what I'm used to, so I mean, I went out there the first day and I was just over driving. I was braking too late. You know, it's just a different driving technique, and these guys are just mega talented in these cars, and I'm just slowly trying to learn off them, look at what they're doing out there, look at their data. The team's helping me out and showing me different things to look at, and it's coming together.
We are back at the Monterey Peninsula in California, Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, and there is a good look at Mr. Edwards. And I'll tell you what, as we said, this has been no fluke. Third at the end of the combined practice sessions, qualified 6th, and has shown in the race, Derek, that he's not only racy, but willing to get aggressive and go after it.
He is, and of course his background is single-seater racing cars. Mainly in Europe, has gone to Europe to pursue a career potentially in Formula One, and of course he is now one of the new Red Bull potential drivers to be supported in a European series this season coming up. So Paul Edwards, definitely a man on the move, and I know him very well from some of the driving programs that he's done with us at the Academy in Las Vegas, came through our Academy development program. So I'm very familiar with his talent, which is considerable.
We're on board with Mike Galati, and there is the green for the restart as we begin lap 6. And Galati just clear track in front of him, but boy, he's got Petey Cunningham and Randy Popes and Edwards. And look at John Young, a great run there around the outside, door to door with Edwards here. Ooh, and a little grind right there.
Difficult to pull that off with John
going
Young.
With him. There's McMillan trying to stay with Young in the Bimmer.
Whole slew of cars here on these resets. On board now with
Popes.
Galati, but Popes, I mean, the race that we've seen Popes in, we've normally seen him on the pole and begin to run away cleanly from everybody, but now he has a real fight on his hands here, behind Galati and ahead of P.D. Cunningham.
Boy, did he make up some ground in that braking zone. Now, there's certainly some of that visually was the accordion effect, but he came out of the corner a lot closer than he went into it. And there's Cunningham, and then there's Edwards. Right behind him is John Young and that Celine SR, chased by McMillan, and then Justin Marks. Oh, look at that! Oh, Marks was forced way wide trying to get around McMillan. McMillan giving him no quarter, and Marks still just forces his way down the inside. Ooh. And look at McMillan! Talk about Zanardi. He tried to drop all 4 wheels to run him straight through the corkscrew. And now we're on board with Greg Merrill. Right in front of him is Dave Farmer.
And you don't normally see that type of aggression from Jeff McMillan, but he was quite prepared not to come out of the power. Drives right off the road, over the curb, across the dirt, and back onto the racetrack again. Whoa.
Well, normally you see, oh, look at this. His Popes is all over Galati. I was going to say about McMillan, normally he qualifies a little further up. We documented it was his worst qualifying of the season back in 9th. So maybe he's decided he needed to turn up the aggression meter just a little bit. But Galati now feeling the pressure from Randy Popes. And Popes has been spectacular this year in the few races he's run.
Look at Paul Edwards. Paul Edwards is all over the back now of P.D. Cunningham. Really, really close to him in the braking zone. John Young there is still right behind Paul Edwards, though. This is really good stuff.
Galati, Popes, then a little gap back to the NSX of Cunningham right there, then Edwards. Petey Cunningham started on pole, but has been shuffled back just a little bit. And boy, did John Young get a run on Edwards. He really got out of turn 3 strongly. He's there, and Edwards right down the middle of the track. And that blunted the attack, if you will, of Young. Young had to settle back in again.
Yes, it did. I see Paul getting a tiny bit sideways at times in that 4-wheel drive car. You see Derek Bell at the back of the pack there, so beginning to catch up. Derek Bell slowly beginning to reel himself back in toward this leading group.
Of course, he essentially went right to the back. He got help when Van Overbeck went off in terms of position, so Bell charged, but Randy Popes all over Galati through the corkscrew. What a great sequence of corners. Then into the rainy curve here, and it just continues to plummet downhill and in a hurry. Boy, Popes is there.
Yeah, he does. He looks a little bit quicker in quite a few places in the brake zone, a little bit quicker as he turns into the apexes also. If he can get his nose inside Michael Galati, he's going to give him trouble here. Look, he turns in tighter. See that? Can turn tighter and hold it tighter at the apexes.
This is on board with Derek Bell, and he's up to 11th right there. He went down the inside and picked up another spot. So Derek Bell also on a charge. Let's check in with him once again.
Well, Speed, you can see it's quite busy out here. People actually being quite good to me now. It was a bit tough there in the beginning. Got to try and catch up without destroying my tyres. That's the problem. The old Quattro doesn't like it when the tyres go away on the front to get too much push. At the moment, it's all right, relatively all right. Back to you in the booth.
Thanks very much, Derek. And you can see Derek not clear of traffic yet, but definitely on a march toward the front. And we'll come back to Laguna Seca in just a minute.
Out here, control is speed. The Speed World Challenge is brought to you by American Plastics. Plastics makes it possible.
BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Toyo Tires, known for performance. Tires that fit you.
Welcome back, everybody, and there's your battle for the lead. It's that close, and it's been closer. There's Cunningham, but we go on board now with Randy Popes as he heads down into the Andretti hairpin. And boy, he made his knifes underneath.
The mistake, we just mentioned the mistake. If he gives a tiny opening to Randy Popes, he will pounce it sure enough. And Randy Popes is such a professional. You don't make mistakes like that without having a Randy Popes make you pay dearly for it. Oh, he did. You're at such a big advantage when you're at the head of the pack, because catching somebody and passing somebody is a completely different kettle of fish. But if you make a mistake like that, you just open the door wide.
Let me ask you a question about that here. They say with the front-wheel drive car, it's very difficult when you lock the fronts up because that's also the drive wheels. And sometimes you come off the gas and the engine stalls and you're still locked up. Same thing with the four-wheel drive in a Quattro format?
Well, essentially, we saw him lose the ability to turn left because he carried too much speed. So while we were on board with Randy Popes, when the tire smoke began to come out, you saw him miss the apex and go straight on. So his momentum and speed carried him straight on, irrespective of what the engine or the steering could do. The momentum was just too great.
So now, well, for a moment there, he had Petey Cunningham very, very close. He's opened it up by about 2 lengths. But behind Petey, now it's Groundhog Day. In front and back, same thing, same look. It's the silver Audi Quattro. That's Edwards behind him. Then Young, then Justin Marks, and then McMillan.
Yeah, Justin Marks is not too far behind John Young here.
To go on board with McMillan, that's Marks right in front of him. And you know, Justin had that humongous shunt at the kink at Road America earlier in the season, and I really think it's taken him a while. One with the car. Ooh, look at Petey Cunningham. This is for second, and Marks dove underneath Young and picked that spot up while we're watching that battle for second. Marks just jumped on the Celine, went underneath it, and picked up that spot, and that's evidence of what I'm talking about. I really think Marks won just to get the car rebuilt, or actually it's a new car, and get it sorted and the like and ready back to the stage it was. But I also think Justin Marks, I think that crash may have shaken him up just a little bit, and his racecraft looks to be back.
Absolutely. When you get a crash that severe, you become a little bit gun-shy. Paul Edwards comes down the inside of Petey Cunningham. Oh, he is so close. Did he tap the back of Cunningham? I think he did.
I think he did. Petey was definitely sideways. And
look at this. They're rubbing off each other.
Just a...
Can Paul hold onto that inside line, the tighter line? Yes, he does.
Oh, look at Justin Marks, though, taking it. Boy, I'll tell you, is he jumping on opportunity. Anytime somebody gives him a little crack in the door, he just wedges it open. Now, Petey tries to cut underneath. Can't do it. Young goes with him, and McMillan now right back on the back of John Young.
Yeah, so suddenly our pole man loses 2 positions there in the space of 2 corners. Now, McMillan still all over the back of John Young in that Mustang.
Good look here. McMillan right there, as you said, the Celine SR right in front of him of Young, and right in front of them is that continuing battle that we've seen back and forth. Petey Cunningham there. But look, I mean, actually now Justin Marks is leaving Cunningham and has just glommed onto the back of Edwards as they head down into the Andretti hairpin. And Marks takes a look. Edwards, a little bobble. He was able to hang on to it and get it turned back to the apex.
And of course, this is the sister car to Van Overbeek that was dumped up in the gravel trap earlier on. They are 2 teammates, have been all season long in the Flextronics backed car.
Well, prior to his incident at Road America, I mean, Justin was definitely right at the front of things, very quick indeed. Van Overbeck, that was his fourth, not consecutive, but fourth front row qualifying performance of the year.
Look at
and
this.
Mark's
look at this.
showing that this team and this car is fast. Here he goes.
Very good in the braking zones. In the brake zone, that car is very stable.
Look at Edwards.
Appears to be able to go quite deep. But Paul Edwards, he hits him. Paul Edwards did not let him off the hook.
And he hits him hard that
Yikes.
time. Mark saves it somehow. Here comes Petey Cunningham, and he'll take the spot back, but that was more than incidental contact.
I think that's 4 times now we've seen Paul Edwards bounce off somebody. One was a little nick on the back of PD. Then we saw 2 or 3 sideways contacts, but Paul Edwards, he is making it a fight here.
He's probably thinking, I got fenders, I can do this. For all his open wheel experience, this is new territory for him. And look at Jeff McMillan, look at this move. I saw him, he adjusted his line with a very aggressive move to set up for it. But man, he tried it there on the outside going into 11, couldn't get it done. But Jeff McMillan has turned the wick up in his BMW. We'll be back.
There's a rhythm to the road, and we have the Toyo tire to fit you, like the new all-season.
We are back, and we are riding with Jeff McMillan in the beautiful BMW up into the corkscrew at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. That's John Young, the Saleen SR. Oh, and Edwards has gone out. He's parked sideways. I just got a glimpse of something going on in front, and Derek Edwards has gone around.
As he stalls. No, I hear it.
Got it going, and he's going to be able to go, but he has lost a tremendous. Ooh, he just scooped up an awful lot of junk.
No broken. What's that? What's that?
That's
just
the
sand
that he scooped up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But it's right in the racing line. Now let's go back see if we can see what may have happened here.
Corkscrew.
Oh, Petey Cunningham, close concert. Boy, Mark's just not through.
Wow. I think Petey spun him around. I think Petey spun him around.
Well, they had the contact earlier.
Yeah, I think he did.
Interesting. Meanwhile, this battle resumes.
Oh, that European training for Paul Edwards. Those fellas are aggressive.
They are.
Oh, they
are.
Look at McMillan in the sideways here. We have oversteer, call the family. Look at this.
Boy, he was hanging it out to dry out there. There's no question of that.
I love it. John Young must have a big smile on his face to see that type of oversteer.
They got him loosed up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he did.
Wait, and it's interesting. I mean, look at these two different cars. You see the BMW, narrower track in terms of the width, and the aero on it nowhere near as aggressive. And then Young, that big booming V8. Oh, but look at McMillan off track, drops both of the rights, and here goes Young.
Oversteer again. Yeah, shoots by. Naturally he would because he just lost so much time on the dirt. But Jeff McMillan now obviously suffering a lot of oversteer. It might be entertaining, but it's just not fast. If you get oversteer there again, from now on, he's not going to be a factor. You've got to cool it now and cool down those rear tires.
And it's a disturbing cycle, isn't it? You've got problems with your grip on your tires. It's a dirty track, and then you run off and dirty up the tires. It just makes it worse. On board here with Bob Miller. That's Mike Culver right in front of Miller. The two Porsches heading down into turn 11, scrapping it out for the 7th spot here. Culver has it. Miller sits in 8th in chase mode right now.
Culver missed the last race because of business commitments. Had a new engine put into this thing, came here with probably one of the best cars he has had. Did not have a great qualifying run, missed his best lap through a gear change miss, but Derek Bell in 9th place now. You see the damage there on the back of his car, but he has fought his way back up to 9th place, closing in now on Michael Culver.
And you look behind him as we look backwards, that is Dave Farmer. Boy, Farmer a bit loose there. Coming out of turn 3, now turn 4. This is a deceptively quick right-hander. It's a sweeper. There's bends again and then up into turn 5 here. We ride on board with Farmer. Remember, he had that just superb win at Mossport earlier in the year, and then he's just had some problems duplicating that.
It's about 400. I think this car has over 400 horsepower in standard trim.
Very strong machine.
Low revs, lots of torque up the hill here. American V8. David Farmer. This very distinctive sound now beginning to close in on Derek Bell, top of the hill here. Closing in on Bell. Bell will see that also. He's all over the place. Oh no! Oh, he speared off at such an unusual angle. I didn't think he was going to be able to stop that thing before he hit the wall.
Oh boy, it stepped out on it big time.
Oh, big, yeah. Got it turned in. Back got away from him. He's corrected it and almost ran out of road. Look at this for 5th place.
McMillan, after all of his problems, has come back after Young, and he has got the inside.
Look, 2 of the nicest cars will not rub off each other. They wouldn't dare do body damage on those cars. 2 of the best presented cars on the racetrack here.
Oh, and McMillan big loose again, and here comes Young. McMillan shuts the door, but still, he's doing it in various different attitudes.
Yeah, but he's in all sorts of trouble. He cannot attack with the amount of oversteer he has on that red BMW.
You saw the power oversteer from Young trying to get back after him here. Great racing.
The Speed World Challenge is brought to you by Porsche. What only Porsche brings to driving.
We're back, everybody, and you ride on board with Michael Galati. Sits in the 2nd spot looking back at P.D. Cunningham. And in his mirrors, you see Justin Marks. Well, what a resurgence for young Justin. Great to see. Galati hanging on. Now, of course, he is the points leader. He has a decent margin here, but still can't afford to give much away. There are a couple races left in the season, and you need to protect and preserve. There's Randy Popes. That's the mark. Look at P.D. Cunningham going to the inside. Galati, oh, they did nudge. Sure looked like a nudge.
Did he? Maybe he'll do it to an Audi twice, but I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Justin Marks. This is his best race of the season by far. He is controlled. I haven't seen him make many mistakes yet, and he is beginning to come forward with sheer speed. These front runners are not dropping out to give him these positions. He is actually making them up with speed on the racetrack here.
Absolute pace, as you said, is doing the job. There's Popes, then here's your battle for 2nd. It's a good one. You can see McMillan is back there now in the 5th spot, and then behind him is Young. But now Randy Popes and the rest of this field, or this group here, are starting to close on some traffic, and they're going to catch it, I would think, in the next couple laps.
Yeah, boy, as soon as Randy Popes gets into the lead in these GT races, he is really, really hard to catch. I mean, Randy Popes does not make mistakes. P.D. Cunningham, you see him here. Oh, look at this, almost sideways. Is Michael Galati beginning to have a bit of trouble here? Is he trying to hang on ahead of P.D. Cunningham?
Well, we saw what happened under pressure from Popes when Michael locked up badly, and it looked like he ran a little wide into the corkscrew that time, didn't it?
Yeah, P.D. is in attack mode here, and I'll tell you, Justin Marks is not far behind him. Here's the brake zone for turn 11.
Boy, P.D.
Very clean.
Yeah, made it look almost easy here.
Very clean.
P.D. not quite carrying the weight to this Audi, and now it's a drag race, and Mark's right behind them. Galati's got the inside line. Let's see what P.D. can do.
That's where he had trouble earlier on when he braked too late. Can he stop it here? Can P.D. ride it out around the outside?
Big wiggle from Galati there, under braking.
Oh, it's still not over. Oh, he touched him. You see the mark? He hit him. Yes, he did. It's just a little love tap. Put a black mark on the right side or the left side of the NSX. But P.D. pulls it off, and now he's in 2nd place. Oh, it's not over yet.
Coming up on Rick Boysal and some lap traffic they're trying to get around. Rick doing a nice job.
Where is he?
Moving out of the way. There's Popes. There's Cunningham.
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, boy, very close. And here we go. Look at this move now. Mark's coming back after him. And takes that spot. So Mark's now up to 3rd.
What a great drive here by Justin Marks. I presume this is a new car. Maybe it's a rebuilt car from that Elkhart Lake crash, but this is a very good car that's well set up, and Justin Marks really feels at home with this. You can just tell by the confidence he shows in what he's doing here.
This is the car that they ran last year after that accident in which that other Porsche was destroyed. They went and got the car he ran last year, updated it, and as you said, he's comfortable with it, but
it's quick.
And as we talked about, obviously, his confidence and his racecraft is back.
That's a quick racing car.
Look at this, McMillan finally using some traffic to help here, has opened up the biggest margin he's had for a while over Young. So
what happened to John
making
Young?
Good here. He's behind, there he is.
Yeah.
Just got trapped behind Boysel. And he's gonna try and get by right here. Ooh, crossed up. we've talked about it. The track seems to be getting slipperier, and Derek Bell has had a great charge up through the pack. Derek, how are things going?
Yeah, well, thanks, guys. The track is quite slippery out here, and making it a bit easier on my tyres, I have to say. Otherwise, I think I'd have developed a magic understeer already. At the moment, it's running quite well. Managed to pull through a few guys, as you saw and heard. Anyway, I must concentrate. Back to the job.
Oh yeah, there's our D-Bell puffing like a racehorse as usual.
But putting in a great drive up from the back.
Toyo's full line of tires and warranties are among the best. Learn more at toyo.com.
Welcome back to Monterey. Greg Creamer, Derek Daly, Jan Mikas. You just saw Randy Popes. There's Petey Cunningham and Justin Marks. That is your top three. Then there's Michael Galati, and that's a lap car.
Michael Galati began to fade way back here. There's Jeff McMillan. Jeff, I'm surprised now. Oh, that was Jeff Wade. Is that Jeff Wade in the lap car, Greg? I think it is.
It is, and McMillan's just about to come after him. And Wade doing a nice job. Whoa, D-Bell runs wide. And that's Mike Culver. Sneaks by underneath.
So Derek Bell had obviously caught Michael Culver, made the pass, and then makes a mistake into turn one, and Michael Culver lets it go past him again.
Ooh, Brad Flowers looks like he just had a big go-around and regained the track right in front of the Culver-Bell battle.
Yeah, makes a chicane and a little short straight for Culver and for Derek Bell. Now on board with Derek Bell as he chases Michael Culver. This is turn 5.
Boy, Mike Culver recently purchased the Skip Barber organization. What a thrill it must be for him to be going door-to-door with a 5-time Le Mans winner.
Yeah, he liked the instructor so much he bought the company. Now there's a way to improve your racing career.
I need more track time.
Yes, exactly. So I bought the company. Uphill, great elevation change here. You see he goes from left side to the right side of the road. Heavy braking here for the corkscrew. And this, I can't tell you how dramatic this is, the way it drops away right there for D-Bell chasing Culver.
By the way, we just saw a glimpse, the 928. There's a secondary one here. It's not just Mark Anderson this weekend. It's Mark Keyboard, as you mentioned. There's Mark.
Mark Keyboard. Everybody in the San Francisco club is waving at Mark as we speak. He sees him on television. Look at the braking capacity of the 928.
By the way, Mark Anderson, who drives the other one, involved in a little fracas with Dan Eastman. After a practice session, Eastman could not get around Anderson, and for some reason, Eastman took it personally and blindsided him with a sucker punch. And he has been disqualified, suspended. We presume, we certainly would expect it to be for the rest of the season, if not longer. Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully for the rest of the season. There is no place for that in motor racing. Derek Bell inside Culver. Ooh! Ooh, man, they almost touched. Almost touched.
What a great scrap this is late in the going here.
And these boys had a great scrap. I believe it was at Sebring earlier in the year. They were in lockstep just like this.
Back again, up into turn 5. Bell's going to take a look, goes deep, 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 and Culver just shuts the door.
Oh, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. The Porsches are good on the braking zone. So if Derek is to go down the inside, he better make it stick and go all the way inside. Ooh, he's tempted. Sideways by Michael Culver. Lose a bit of time. Good stuff here on the run up to the corkscrew. He is under pressure, though. He is definitely under pressure here from Derek Bell.
Derek, it looked like he's just absolutely trying to get him to ruffle his feathers and get him to miss an apex, run wide, anything to get him off his line. Boy, he pinches him awful tight here.
Looked like Derek
he got
way too wide there. Yeah, way too wide he went.
Derek Bell continues some serious pursuit of Culver here, heading down into turn 11 on the brakes. And Culver going to be able to survive at least this lap. But D-Bell on the move here at Monterey.
It was always a dream. I feel very honored to be a part of it now.
Back at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, we are closing in on the end of this one, but this battle has been superb. Derek Bell still going after it with Culver. And this is the battle for 7th. And by the way, you'll notice that we haven't said much about Bell's third teammate, Edwards, for a while. The reason was, after his moment with Petey Cunningham, he stopped pitted for a tire, and he is way at the back, so a lap down as a matter of fact. So as why we haven't been chatting him up too much right now. But this battle has certainly taken center stage, and Derek Bell has dropped off just a little bit, and he's now trying to run him back down again.
And he's come from dead last on that first corner incident. Has Derek Bell. There's some parts of the car not with him, left rear corner. Culver is faster in some parts of the track, but Derek Bell in the brake zone, some of them he just dares to go down the inside, and Culver closes the door, slams the door shut on D. Bell, takes that inside line.
Boy, Culver has been certainly quite aggressive here in his defense of this position over Derek Bell, and Derek has got to be enjoying himself. Let's check in one more time, see if we can check in with Derek Bell. Derek?
Well, Speed, I can't talk much. I'm a bit busy out here, but it's obviously quite a good dice, isn't it?
Oh, it is. We're right there with you.
Boy, denied.
Yeah, Michael Culver and Derek Bell in lockstep here. This is for 7th place. It is the best battle on the racetrack. The laps are running down here. He's not quite close enough to make the pass, certainly not now.
But there are spots where he just seems to really have the legs on the Porsche and takes a shot at it, and then those Porsche's brakes seem to really play into things.
Yeah, but it's unusual. Yet Derek Bell at some places seems to be able to brake a tiny bit later. This is the top of the corkscrew, but Michael Culver, you can see again, taking that defensive line.
Meanwhile, back to the overall point here. Ooh, even Randy Pope showing a little bit of oversteer. And Petey Cunningham has made a little ground up on Randy, and there you see the white flag has come out. And that's the margin, and even though Petey may have taken just a bit of that back, it's not enough. Now, you saw where they are on the track. There's John Young sitting in the 6th spot, and here's 7th, Culver, 8th, Bell. So that's the margin, 1st to 8th right now, pretty close after a number of laps of action here. And this is where Derek Bell really gets a run on Culver.
He's very quick out of that last hairpin at turn 11. So now he goes down the outside. Now this is a difficult move here to pull off on Michael Culver. Difficult move to right around the outside. Doesn't make it.
Boy, it looks like he might be trying to square it up a little bit, get a good drive here. Coming up into turn 3. Coming down the inside, he may have it done. Ooh!
Oh, he hits him! Oh, he sends him off backwards and goes off himself.
Exactly. Oh, and then he mows over one of the signs there, and he's got to
get any thank yous for that, but I really didn't mean to. I just locked up over.
Oh!
Well, I think we just eavesdropped on a conversation with his crew.
Michael Culver did not seem to keep that thing running. Oh, he is. He's going now. Oh, there's the witness marks on the right rear corner, just walloped by D. Bell.
Witness marks. I like that.
Yeah.
You can't pound that out by races, and everybody knows. Meanwhile, Randy Popes has just been flogging this car all race long. Once he got to the front, he has absolutely controlled it, and he is working his final lap. He's put together a number of wins this year. They've all come from pole. This one he had to earn, and he's going to do it nonetheless. Moves to the wall to congratulate the crew, and there it is. The checkered flag for Randy Pope. Petey Cunningham will slot into the 2nd spot. And a great drive, Derek, by Justin Marks up into 3rd.
It really was. That was by far his best race of the year. On board now with Derek Bell, who will get that 7th place, despite the fact that he did that half spin and stopped Bob Miller right behind him, who will finish in 8th place. I don't know where Michael Culver is, but I know David Farmer, I believe, is next up the road in 9th place. And Michael Culver, there he is. Is that him?
Yep.
Is that Michael? No, not yet. Not yet.
We're looking for the wrinkle.
Yeah, we are. The witness marks.
Meanwhile, there's Randy Popes, who gets his 4th win of the season. And keep in mind, he had a number of DNSs, didn't even start. But, boy, when he runs incredibly well. We also had a great and entertaining race from Derek Bell. Let's check in one more time.
Well, Speed, that was the end of another race. Not quite how I wanted to do it. I really am sorry for Mike Culver. It was no, it wasn't unfair. I didn't intend to do it. I was trying to get inside him, as I'd done several times before, and there weren't too many other chances. There weren't too many other chances to do it, and I had to go, and then of course everything damn locks up. It's the only problem I have with my little beautiful RS4. It is a beautiful car, and it's really been fantastic all year. Really pleased to pick up just something anyway, having started 11th, dropped to last. Okay, back to you in the booth. See you next time. Bye from car number 2.
And thank you, Derek.
And he thinks that's going to get him off the hook with Michael Culver.
More apologies to come.
Michael Culver's going to send him to school.
Skip Barber.
The Speed World Challenge is brought to you by Sega and by Toyo Tires, known for performance tires that fit you.
With 3 victories in a row for Randy Pobst, he was very excited coming on the victory circle. I think somewhat of a surprise after qualifying 4th. Definitely pulled it out today. Randy, 3 in a row for you, but this one looked like it might have been a bit more difficult.
Wow, well, good thing for Porsche. It can pull it through for me because I didn't qualify as well as I'd hoped. Practice went great. Qualifying didn't go so well. And what a great battle we had. And I got to compliment my 3R racing team. Man, they put together a good car. And it was close at first. I think I got a little Audi paint on both sides. But once we got in clean air, got a little racing going on behind me, it just turned into a really nice ride. I love Laguna Seca here, and I can't wait to make it to the next race. This 3R team does a great job of building Porsches.
Well, and he does a great job of driving them, no question. Let's take a look at our full field results. Pobst with the win. There's Cunningham again. A great drive by Justin Marks. Galati doing himself no real harm in terms of points. McMillan, Mr. Aggressive. Great to see. He really went after it in this one. We take a look at the rest of the field. You see Boris said. Didn't even see much of Boris. Just could not get that car hustled up as well as he'd like. And there's Paul Edwards back in 18th after a very exciting run, no question, early in the going. And here's the rest of the pack. And of course, Johannes van Overbeek beached early and done. Let's go back down to Jan with Petey Cunningham.
Peter, I think this is the 3rd time you've had a 2nd place finish, but a smile on your face because you finished ahead of Galati, and that's got to be important in the points.
Yeah, that helped with the points. Randy, I know he's a good driver, and he managed to do that with 150 pounds of extra lead in his car, and I had none, but that was the best we could do. The NSX from real time was awesome. It handled great in very slippery conditions, and it was a lot of fun.
And we talked about the points, and once again, Michael Galati continues to lead now by 23 over Cunningham, who moved from 3rd to 2nd. That's the +1. McMillan moved from 4th to 3rd, but at Johannes van Overbeek with that beaching early, dropped back 2, and Justin Marks back into the top 10 in the points as he advances 2 spots with another sterling drive. And speaking of Justin Marks, he has found Jan Beekes in winner's circle.
Well, congratulations, Justin. Great ride for you. Best career finish. But on Friday, you were saying, I am bad everywhere. I'm bad in turn 1, 2, 11. What happened? What'd you change?
Well, I think, I think the car was real good on Friday. We didn't change anything between Friday and Saturday, and I think really the one handicap on Friday was the driver. I don't know if I had my head in it or what, but, got some good rest on Friday night, and man, this Flextronics Shoreline Brocade car was just awesome. The team did a great job. We got all of the people from our sponsors, all the Flextronics people out at this race, our home track, and Flextronics has this motto. It says it's all about results. I think we gave them some good ones today.
Well, congratulations. Great result, as you said.
Thank you very much.
Got to tell you, when one doesn't get those sponsors' names in, the other one does. They look after him. Here's our rookie standings. John Young, a comfortable lead still over Tim Weens. Merrill has moved up a spot. Flowers dropped back to 4th, and Mike Culver sits in the 5th spot in those rookie points at this stage. Manufacturers standings after 8 of 10. Porsche continues to lead over Audi, Acura, BMW, and then Saleen. Let's go back down to Jan Beekes, who's with our Rogaine hair-raising pass winner.
And with the Rogaine hair-raising pass of the race award, John Young. John, it was a heated battle out there. Which pass did you get the hair-raising award for? Because I know you had many.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not too sure. Jeff and I were side by side in just about every turn of the track. And, it was nice racing with him because I knew that if I held my line, he'd held his. And it'd be whoever could get off the corner the best. And a couple times I did, a few times he did, and at the end it was him that came out on top. But I appreciate Rogaine for giving me the award. And just have a great time racing with Speed GT.
All right, congratulations. Let's see. Yeah, sure enough, his hair is raised.
All right, thanks, Jan. And Derek Daly, even though Randy Pobst got the win, and what a remarkable season he's had for only racing part of it, Petey Cunningham today set a bit of a benchmark.
He did. This was his 300th race. I knew it was sometime this weekend, but that is pretty impressive. But I was surprised to see, Greg, the reigning champion, Michael Galati, fall away, having been in the lead. And of course, as Justin Marks said, it's all about results, but a championship is all about consistent results. It wasn't there D. Bell and Michael Culver, good entertainment?
I think we may see at the banquet Michael Culver offer Dean Bell a 3-day competition performance driving certificate.
He needs it
for his school. Next up is going to be Road Atlanta. We hope you join us for Speed Channel's coverage from there. Until then, take care, everybody. For Derek Daly and Jan Bigas, I'm Greg Kramer. Bye-bye.
It is springtime in New Zealand. Time for round 12.